Well, hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back. Jiu-Jitsu 2000 here today. I'm back. I hope you guys are doing fantastic and that you had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday with your family and your friends. In this video today, we're going to talk about three different 3-in-1 flashlights that are very popular on the market today. We have the Thrunite Defender, we have the Nitecore EDC17, and we have the Olight ArkPro. Now, some of you are probably wondering, after seeing my video reviews of all three of these lights, you're probably wondering which one is your favorite and why. Well, I do have a favorite, and I'm just going to get to that right off the bat. The ArkPro by Olight is, in my opinion, the best one of these three. The second one that I want to make note of is the Thrunite Defender. This one is clearly, in my opinion, the best bang for the buck. But let me explain why I'm choosing the Olight over these other two. Now, before we get into that, I do want to tell you that all three of these lights are absolutely wonderful, and I would trust them. They are very, very good in my opinion. These are the three top lights in the industry. So let's start with white light, okay? Because all three of these have white light, they have green laser, and they all three have ultraviolet light. So when we talk about the white light, I like the ArkPro the best because it gives us a floodlight and a spotlight. So that means we have a tight hot spot that has a long distance of throw, or we can just light up everything in a close proximity. And for that reason, I like the ArkPro. On the ArkPro, we have the ability to run the laser by itself. All three of these have that ability. We also have the ability to run the laser in combination with white light. You can also accomplish that on the Thrunite Defender. It will allow you to operate the green laser while you're on white light. And you can do that as well on the Nitecore EDC17. So all three of them will allow you to use the laser with the white light. Now, why do I like the ArkPro the best on that laser and white light combo? Is because you can do it in a momentary fashion, or you can do it in a constant on fashion. And you can not only do it when you're in spotlight, but you can also do it in floodlight. It's just wonderful. Now, on the Thrunite Defender, when you want the laser and light to come in combination with each other, you have to be on the laser setting, and then you double press quickly, and then you'll get the white light and the laser will be on. Then you can push and hold and cycle through the modes while the laser's on. Now, when you're on the EDC17 and you turn the light on, when you push the button, you'll access the laser. So it's momentary only, but it works very good. But again, clear winner in my opinion is the ArkPro. Now, the next point that I want to make is the laser itself, the green laser. It works good. All three of these have excellent lasers that you could shine, and they're very powerful. They're very easy to see. When you have the EDC17, it's just one beam. It doesn't get brighter, it doesn't get dimmer. You have one setting, and that is the same thing with the Thrunite Defender. You have one laser, but when you get to the ArkPro, you have a low and a high on the laser, and that is fantastic. So in my opinion, the laser is awesome on the ArkPro. Now, let's talk about the ultraviolet light for a second. The clear winner, in my opinion, is the EDC17 on the ultraviolet light. And it's not because it's brighter. It's because you have 3 different settings of ultraviolet light. You have a low, a medium, and a high. So if you want to have a long battery life, you can just put that ultraviolet light on low. Look around. If you need more power, you put it up to the medium setting. Need more power, you kick it up to high. It's awesome. Now the downside to the ultraviolet light, even though it wins on coolness because you got 3 different levels of it, you cannot access the laser in combination with the ultraviolet light. So you can't do that. Now let's talk about the Defender. You have 1 setting of ultraviolet light and it works very good. So no issues there. When you have the Olight and you go to the ultraviolet light, you have the ability to go to low and high on the ultraviolet light. Now I kind of skipped over the Defender for a second when I was talking about ultraviolet light. You have 1 setting. The question out there is, can you access the laser while you're using ultraviolet light? Unfortunately, the answer is no. You cannot do that with the Thrunite Defender. The EDC17, even though you have 3 amazing low, medium, and high of ultraviolet light, you cannot access the laser while you're doing ultraviolet light. So both of these lights, the Thrunite Defender and the EDC17, unfortunately do not do ultraviolet light with laser. If they could, it would be amazing. But when we look at the ArkPro, you can access ultraviolet light on low or high, and you can also momentarily access the laser from low or high on ultraviolet light, and you can also switch between momentary on the laser or constant on, and you can even go low beam or high beam on the laser itself while using ultraviolet light. So clear winner again is the ArkPro. Now price point. Let's talk about that price point for a second. I would say without a doubt the best bang for the buck is the Thrunite Defender. It has an amazing price point for what you're getting. It's an amazing light. The EDC17 Nitecore and the Olight, they're a different price point. They're almost twice as expensive as the Defender. And in my opinion, you're not getting twice the amount of light. So if you're on a budget, the Defender is awesome. Now let's talk about another feature, the magnetic end here. The Thrunite Defender has a magnet. It's strong, but this is a little bit heavy of a light, and if you put it on something like a refrigerator or a washer and dryer, it can fall fairly easily, but it does have a magnet. Now I noticed if you stick it above your head, like the hood of a vehicle or something, you're going to look at the engine, it seems to hang stronger in applications like that. So the laser, or excuse me, the magnet rather, is a good thing on this light. It does a good job. The ArkPro has a magnet as well. It's very strong, and the same thing applies to the refrigerator and the washing machine. It will fall, but it is a little bit stronger of a magnet. Excuse me. It just seems a tiny bit stronger than the Defender, but it's not super noticeable. But I think it's stronger. I think the magnet is a little bit better on the ArkPro. Now when we go to the Nitecore EDC17, you do not have a magnet at all. What you have is a glass breaker. So if you're a first responder, or maybe you're a medical guy, or you're driving an ambulance, a firefighter, police, or something like that, and you need to break glass, you don't need a magnet for that. So the ability to have that zirconium insert right there to break glass is amazing. So in that aspect, as a first responder, the EDC17 wins in that department, if that's what you need, if that's the line of work that you're in. This is a very simple unit to operate. It's very easy. You just have that slide switch. If you haven't seen the video review that I did on any of these, please make sure you're checking the channel, because I did reviews on all 3 of these and they all performed fantastic. Now let's talk about the pocket clips. On the Defender, you have a dual direction pocket clip. It gets an A+ from me. It's awesome. Awesome. On the ArkPro, awesome as well. You get a dual direction pocket clip. It serves the function very well. It's a nice wide thing, and it actually lets the light hang deeper into your pocket. So all the way up to here, where this one, you have this much of the flashlight hanging out of your jeans. So the ArkPro definitely wins on pocket clip in my opinion, but the Defender is not far behind. Now that leads us to the EDC17. It has a nice pocket clip, but it is not a dual direction pocket clip. It does hang deep in your pocket, but it doesn't give you the ability to put it on a ball cap. That's why the dual direction pocket clip is so nice. Or a hard hat. Maybe you're at work and you're on a hard hat and you got a nice tight hard hat and you want to put your light on there and use it as a headlamp for 10 minutes. This one unfortunately does not have the ability to do that. And which leads to the next thing that I want to talk about, and that is tail standing. Both of these lights tail stand very well. The EDC17, unfortunately, because of the glass breaker, does not have the ability to tail stand. Now, brightness level, they're all comparable. I will say one thing about going to turbo or the brightest setting on these lights. The Thrunite and the Olight both win in that category. They both have a very bright light. And the EDC17 has a very bright light as well. However, this EDC17 steps down to prevent the overheating very quickly. And it's a drastic drop. It'll go from high down to like low within, I'm saying, under a minute. And so it's a drastic loss of light that you're experiencing with this one. Where these two, you can put them on their brightest setting and they will decline, but it's a slow, gradual process of decline. It doesn't jump down drastically like the EDC17 does. So for that, I would give the edge on these two for maintaining that bright level of light. They do a fantastic job of that. So at this moment, I want to talk about charging these lights using USB-C. If we look at the Thrunite Defender, you see it has a little rubber charge port cover. You can remove that out of the way and access the USB-C. When charging is complete, you can pack that in there and you're good to go. It works good. There's no problems with it. You're going to see the lights flicker until they're all solid, and then charging is complete. Very effective. It charges fairly quickly and it does a good job. Now, when you look at the EDC17, I think this charge port is a slightly bit better. It's a piece of rubber, but it has a hard piece of plastic. And when you access the USB-C, it feels a little bit easier to pack back in there and put it in there. Not that big of a difference, but a tiny bit better in my opinion. And the same thing applies when you're charging via USB-C. You see these things bumping around, and then when they're all solid, charging is complete. So a little tiny bit better. Now the clear winner, obviously in my opinion, is the ArkPro by Olight. You have a metal door that is very solid. It opens up, you can access the port. You shut the door when you're done, and it works good. It'll charge this thing up. You'll see the lights illuminating, and then when charging is complete, it's the same thing. And you also have the ability to magnetically recharge. So you have two charging capabilities out of the ArkPro. Which leads to the final question. With all three of those lights that have the USB-C charging ports, can they be used as a power bank to charge other devices? Maybe like you want to charge your phone or something like that. All three of these lights, unfortunately, the answer to that is no. So in closing, these all have their place. They are all fantastic. They are all very, very reliable. Let's take one more thing and talk about waterproof rating. The EDC17 by Nitecore and the Thrunite Defender are both IPX7 waterproof, which means they can go completely underwater. No problem at all. They pass the dunk test. You can see it in the video reviews. But when you look at the ArkPro, it carries a higher IPX rating of 8, which not only means it can also go underwater, but it can go underwater for more than 30 minutes, up to 30 minutes, which is fantastic. The lenses of these are glass. They are all built very well. They all have similar impact resistance ratings. You cannot go wrong on either of these. So with all that being said, folks, I want to say thank you so much for joining me today on this video, taking a look at these 3 very awesome flashlights from their respected companies. I'd like to hear your thoughts on these. Please feel free to leave comments down below, like this video, share this video, and if you like the type of content that you see on this channel, please don't hesitate hitting that subscribe button and choosing all notifications. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. We got Christmas coming up, so Merry Christmas to you. And until next time, keep having a beautiful day. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.